Hello friends, it's Reza. Welcome to channel Reza Blade. And I am here a little past due when I would have preferred to be. More on that in a second. Today I am reviewing a new brand for me. I'm not necessarily saying that everybody else is new to this brand. I've seen this for at least 4 or 5 months on Amazon. This is a brand I mentioned to you a few days ago or a few videos ago. I am charitably going to call it VAGA, not just because VAGA reminds me of galaxies in space, and that's a very positive memory for me, but because you could pronounce it in a way that would be, I don't know, maybe give English-speaking people a different connotation. But that's not what I'm calling it. It's VAGA. That's my personal pronunciation. The way to get these, in my humble opinion, is this 4-plate set costs about 14 bucks, and it was delivered prime to me on Amazon. It came with a scraper. It came with 4 plates. They're released by color, so there's a bronze collection, or maybe it's a brown and taupe that I'm combining. Anyway, there's a few different collections. If I want to get one of these plates, I can find one of them. I don't remember which one I found for 8 bucks on Amazon. So I do recommend getting them in the 4 packs. This one is still available for Prime delivery, but even if you can't find it Prime, it's still usually shipping out free. So it may not get there in 2 days, but you'll still usually not pay shipping for it. So I decided on the silver. And then after I got this and made a couple of manis, I promptly lost one of the plates. Looked for it for a week, found it, and then I lost another of the plates. Looked for it for a few days and then found it. There were places that I wouldn't really have put them, so I'm attributing this mischief to the very bored sock goblins in my house. I don't know if you are familiar with sock goblins. They take the match socks that you put in the washer and they come out one sock in the dryer, so they steal your socks. Anyway, it's fun. Fun to think that it wasn't just me and my scatterbrain that lost them. So on my left hand I have done the disco collection, the disco plate. This swirly design, I took it, I did a lot of inspo searching on Google, and I found that a lot of them have these kinds of swirly backgrounds, which wasn't included with the plate, but it was on an Uberchic plate that I have. So I just used the background because I thought it would be fun. And with this star, this might be fun for coming up Independence Day kind of thing. I don't know why I'm not being able to focus. Maybe it's the goblins. So here's my thumbnail. Goodness, just please. Okay. Anyway, so that is the disco plate. It's a metal plate. This one didn't, it's stamping okay. It's not like in the level of maniology plates, but it is stamping okay. I usually throw these in the freezer for 5 or 10 minutes before stamping because it has taken me a few tries, and you'll see that from the swatches that I take. I do a swatch on paper and I show it to you at the end of the video so you can really see, what I did and how it took me, how long it took me or whatever. So that's the disco plate. The space plate was another reason that I grabbed this one. This is a pond mani or a jelly sandwich mani. I used some neon polish with some glitter in it. I did some stars behind the aliens. And this one does come, usually they've got a background for, for each plate. There is a background stamp. So this particular one has got a couple of background stamps. And some across the nail stamps. It's got a cool astronaut. It's got a Big Dipper, Little Dipper, whatever. This I really thought for the longest time that it was an alien doing semaphore. Uh, that's a peace sign, ladies and gentlemen. That is not semaphore, but I swore for the longest time that I had unlocked this one. It had a secret message. Not so. Here is an alien with a recognizable peace sign, I think, mostly recognizable. And then I also used this. I think it's supposed to be the moon and stars, but I used it a little bit differently. I love this spaceship. It's got this field visible here that you can do with all sorts of nifty colors. I don't know if this is a space cat or a space Boston Terrier, but I did swatch it, so we will all see. And here is the rocket or space station or whatever it's called. It's space something. I normally know the word for it. It's not a spaceship. Oh, I'm just going to move along. It's got a little banner here that says space. It's got a very angry alien. I mean, I assume those are human standards that I'm applying to his micro expressions, though, so maybe he's not angry. We have a hand reaching through what I infer is a wormhole, but we don't really know. These are stories we tell ourselves to look at these beautiful plates. All right. I don't know why they put Pac-Man in there. There are no dots for him to eat. You could make some, though. You could hand make some. And this is definitely a rocket. Anyway, so that's that plate. We have a currency plate as Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all sorts of cryptocurrencies are on everybody's lips. And I did do a couple of manicures. I like that they have a money tree. You know, money does grow on trees, you know. Just look, here's one. We have Ben, good old Ben. Famous womanizer and delightfully effective diplomat. He's one of my favorite founding fathers. So here's another, like I mentioned, these backgrounds that will fill the full nail. A lot of stuff on the Bitcoin. You're going to want to do black and gold. It looks like that is the color palette applied to Bitcoin right now. Anyway, so on to the fish plate. They're calling it fish scale. I think of it as a nautical plate. I really loved the skull with the sailor's cap on. Fun little, what's the word? Sailboat. Beautiful mermaid. This kind of would be perfect for a tattoo. We have a nautical knot here. 10 points to anybody who can name this knot. We have a very hefty sailor here. He has been building up his upper arm strength, I see. Some fish in a shoal, making a question mark. Or schooling, no, school of fish. We have an anchor. Looks like a lure, some bait. And I did use this wheel as the background to my manicure with the skull. And I'll show you that once I start to have you look at my swatch sticks. I really loved this diver's helmet. And I could not for the life of me figure this one out because it looks like there's a cat's face at the top here. Can I ever show you? Anyway, but I think it might be a couple of waders. It looks kind of like that might be overalls things here. It could be a boat up on blocks for the winter. It could be one of those mermaid tails that you crochet yourself so that you can be a mermaid on your couch watching television. I encourage and request other suggestions since this one kind of has me confused. Sea of Love? Yeah, that's what it says, so I can't really interpret that any old way. Here's another school of fish. And then fish in general are really good for pond or jelly sandwich manis. Here's a whale, I think. It's a cutesy whale. Got a lovely mermaid and another sailor who, I guess his ties to his kerchief are blowing in the wind, and his facial hair is very well groomed. Might win a contest with that. I hear from my very best childhood friend that seahorses go neigh glub glub, and I still think that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So let me get off of these plates and show you my... Oh, also, isn't that fun? The backings, they come with, like, they're forged, fairly forged to their backings. But I do think it's really neat that they have backings like this. Here we go. This is from the Disco Plate. It's a Love Metal. Those are the metal horns. They're not Satan horns. I think I used some background images from the Disco Plate just so that it wouldn't be boring. And as a metalhead myself, I really like this manicure. It would have said I love, which is what the top of the heart says on the actual plate. But maybe I have a tremor and maybe I just went a little bit too far to the left when I finally set that stamp down. So you work with what you've got. I wasn't going to remake that whole one. This is also from the Disco Plate. I did some dry brushing on a white background. And then I did a kind of a gradient effect with the eyeball. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I was having a moment, and in that moment I liked it. As far as currency goes, I did use good old Ben's face, and this text here says dollar, and I used a little, and most of this is dry brushing as far as the background goes. Just, you know, went by the seat of my pants on this one. So let me see if I can find the currency, the other currency. I did a gradient euro manicure. I hope you like that. I was pretty happy with it. So there's that. Now let's move on to the space one. This is my favorite of the space swatches. Can you even see it? It's that hand touching a planet or moon or star or whatever it is. And I've got a lot of different colors in there. Anyway, I enjoyed this image. I kind of wish I had a painting of this image. Here's the other space one. We've got our handy astronaut in the piece of spatial real estate that's in our neighborhood, because we've got some familiar constellations in his background. And I freehanded that moon that he's on. I hope I did okay. It's my first freehand that hasn't immediately sucked. I usually throw things away dramatically after I freehand, but I was okay with that one. I hope it's okay. Tell me if I did okay. Oh, I haven't even talked about liking and subscribing and things. Don't forget to like this video if I've been of any help whatsoever. And I love your comments. I live for your comments. Tell me which swatches or manicures you like best, which plates you like best, whatever. If you might tell me if you're entertaining giving the VAGA plates a chance. And do subscribe. This week I am releasing my Mani by Me review with inspiration and everything, because I'm supposed to get that on Monday. Here is that knot used as a decal over some pretty blue. That's using the Nautical Plate. And here's the other one, the skull with some, I know what this is called, the kind of wheel it's called. I know the term. I used to sail, actually, like ships with you know, sails, and I could jibe with the best of them. But I can't think of the name of that wheel, and it really upsets me, so I'm not going to think about it anymore. I do lose words from time to time. Before I move on to the swatches, I wanted to tell you, if you've seen my jelly sandwich slash pond video, I just wanted to show you, this is really exciting to me. This, I've had some polish that I made myself You know what? I think I locked it closed. Anyway, the polish is still wet in there, and it's been there for like 2.5 weeks. So, I mean, if you're not planning on making enough quantity of a special polish just for one mani, like to put in one of your empty bottles, this contact lens case has really worked out well for me. So there's a tip. All right, so let's get into those swatches. So you can see the kind of adventure that I had trying to stamp these. So some of them were pretty easy. This, actually, I wanted to tell you about this one. This image is taken directly from a vintage 70s poster. It's really cool. And I've got a, you know, what do they call those? I don't remember. But they had a word for those. Boombox. There's a boombox. I love the roller skates. Here's a big image. You can kind of grab any part of for your whole finger if you want, or part of your finger. This one says I love 80s, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, this looks kind of 80s, this looks kind of 80s, but a lot of these images are rather 70s to me. Here's a disco ball, which was, I have to tell you, was the image that sold me on this one. I'm wondering if this is like supposed to be a Rolling Stones reference. I don't know. Maybe it's something different of the time. Here are some cassette tapes. Anyway, I do like these. But this is what I did first. So just so you know, I really did have to give it some cold weather. It was hot and humid at the time. So I put it in the freezer. And it fixed everything. But that's not the first time you have heard me say that. I do use that trick a lot. Space plate. I got a lot of good results. Let's see if this is a cat, not a Boston. This is definitely a starry cat. Here is the peace sign alien. That looks like a gray to me. These both look like grays. So it's a kind of alien. All right, we've got the rocket. Oh, shuttle, space shuttle. That's what you see. I always come back around. All right. Anyway, so this one stamped very well. I enjoyed it, and I love the variety in these stars. That's a lot of fun. And then we've got the Bitcoin plate, or the cryptocurrency plate. All sorts of fun things. Blockchain, sorry. This is a yen symbol. I don't actually know the difference between the 1 bar and the 2 bar. I probably should have looked all of these up. This is a pound symbol, but they don't have the word pound here, which frustrates me. Anyway, here's the background. That looks, I mean, that, you know, it looks all right. I probably wouldn't use it necessarily. This is what a physical Bitcoin looks like, at least according to the pictures. Yeah, so one more to go, and that is our Nautical Plate. So this one, it did give me some problems. This background of the starfish, you know, I did eventually get there, but here's the first time I tried to stamp the, is it a boat? I don't know what it is. Anyway, waders, whatever it is, I tried to stamp it. This is the second time, the more successful time. And I really like this seahorse. There's just something extra about it. There's a bit of ornateness to the image that I like. You know, the school of fish turned out well. The mermaids turned out okay. And I like the detail on the fish. But you know, just some of these just didn't turn out the best. But they're worth the effort, though, I tell you that. The helm? No. That one won't come back to me. Anyway, so those are my swatches and all of my samples. Please tell me what you think. I think this is a great deal for some new plates. I've already ordered one more set. I don't remember what color, so I can't tell you. But do tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. And I will see you later. probably next Thursday. We'll see. Can I do it quicker? I hope. Ta-ta.